There's a good argument to be made that he can even hit harder than his own dad, Mr. Incredible, just from the sheer speed alone. In the Incredibles family, you know, the superpowered family in the Incredibles universe each have their own set of abilities that makes them unique. The character I want to go over today is the speedster of the family known as Dash. So let's get into it. His dad is the muscle of the group. So when you think of how strong Dash is, you probably think, oh, he ain't that strong. He can't lift a lot of weight or he ain't got a lot of muscle. Well, that's not really important because I say this a lot in my videos, but like a famous anime character have said in the past, speed is weight. When you're fast enough, you can generate a lot of force with your raw speed. That's kind of how like Dash is. He's ridiculously fast in just straight line point A to point B speed, like running speed. Like he can easily win track races if he wanted to, but he has to hold back on purpose. Combat speed and running in a straight line isn't the same thing. Dash is a speedster. He's fast in both regards. That's important for him. He can run fast and his fist, his reflexes all match up. These are small examples of his combat speed on how he can change his clothes that quick. That's reflexes. You know he has fast hands when he can eat that quick. Like everything about him is fast. There's plenty of examples of his speed. Like he's literally like the motor in this situation with his mom being the boat. He made like a dust tornado in this particular situation when he was working together with the family. While running, he's fast enough to dodge Violet's force fields even though he don't see where they're coming from. This is a clear example of him using his combat speed while running fast too. We've seen him save an old lady. He's so fast he can run upside down before he has time to fall. He plays catch with his dad. His dad threw the ball farther than the eye could see. He was still fast enough to get it. Let's lowball this and assume Mr. Incredible threw the football, just the football field's length. And Dash, like, he covered that in about 2 seconds. And he covered all this and then came back to his dad after the throw. Bare minimally, this would be 245 miles per hour. And I'm severely lowballing this on purpose because I don't want to overhype it. But it looked like Mr. Incredible threw it farther than football's field length. Based on this clip, like, he went far. And that was really quick. This is assuming 2 seconds at a football's field length. I'm severely lowballing this. If we assume he did this in 1 second, this bare minimally is calculated to be 490 miles per hour. And I'm lowballing him. So, yeah, he's definitely faster than 400 miles per hour. Let's be real. It makes sense because he's fast enough to run on water. He's consistently shown to be able to move like a blur, looking like straight up teleportation at times. This is basically a multitask feat when his dad threw the remote. He was dodging laser or plasma bolts while doing this. While running across water, not really looking at the lasers, the villain Syndrome, the super genius of the movie, made these super fast pods that Dash had to outrun for an extended amount of time. There's implications that Dash is faster than the speed of sound because he's literally too fast for the camera recording to see him move between frames. Don't judge me, but I did my own personal calculations with the AI system that I use personally. I pretty much calculated what distance you would need to go if you was to assume somebody can move 15 feet and back before a 30 frames per second camera had time to register that you even move. The bare minimum speed in order to be invisible to a 30 frames per second camera like this would be bare minimally over 600 miles per hour. Wouldn't this be a fair estimation to assume he can be completely invisible to a 30 frames per second camera? 600 miles per hour sounds about right, close to the speed of sound, you know. There's still implications that this isn't Dash's top speed. You know, like rockets we have in real life, right? You see the fire that's coming out of it. Have you ever wondered how fast this fire right here is coming out? That speed? You ever wondered that? Do me a favor and Google exhaust velocity. You will be shocked on how fast this crap is coming out. This is important for Dash because we literally see Dash outrun this same fire from a rocket. The rocket exhaust. The speed of which of this stuff comes out, you can Google it yourself. I'm not lying. It can range from 5,000 to 10,000 miles per hour, y'all. Dash outrunning this would mean that his speed would not only be faster than the speed of sound, but there's implications he can move 7 to even 13, up to 13 times faster than the speed of sound. I want you for a second to imagine somebody with this kind of speed throwing their fist at your face this fast. Like, imagine that. You know he can hit hard. Yeah, Dash doesn't have that many striking feats to really go off of, but based on his speed, based on all this stuff I've talked about, you can kind of give some kind of estimation on what he could possibly punch with. It's honestly shocking he's not punching holes in these guys' faces. Yeah, it's a kid movie. He's probably holding back. He's not a murderer, I guess. Like, his punches would be a lot scarier if he was older. Like, he's a little person with a little bit of body weight. I want you to visually picture something that's less than a pound, something that's 5 ounces, like a baseball. A baseball going at you at 90 miles per hour would be equal to about 200 pounds of raw force if it hits you in the face. There's actually people in real life that can throw a baseball at 90 miles per hour. Baseball players. Something that's less than a pound, thrown with enough speed, can be equivalent to 200 pounds hitting you. That's what I'm talking about when I say speed is weight. Something this light, less than a pound, going at 90 miles per hour can hit with this much force. Now imagine something or somebody that's over 200 times heavier hitting you at a higher level of speed. Now, this isn't something we've seen Dash do, but I'm just talking about via speculation. He has super speed. If he just put all his body weight in his speed, ran at you at 90 miles per hour, let's just assume his full body weight. Let's assume he ran at you at 90 miles per hour. I'm not even talking about his top speed. Let's just assume 90 miles per hour. So if Dash was to put all his weight into his punch and use his super speed and ram into you, a 70-pound body, I'm assuming he's only 70 pounds. I'm really lowballing his body weight. I'm assuming he's only 70 pounds, a human-sized body coming at you at 90 miles per hour. He would be able to produce, via my own personal calculations with AI, he'll be able to produce 14 tons of force just going 90 miles per hour, y'all. Now, we can hypothetically speculate if he was to do the same thing like this, but at 700 miles per hour, the number would vastly go up. With my personal calculations, it would go up to over 110 tons of force with his raw speed. If he was to hit you close to the speed of sound, 700 miles per hour. This is enough force to like flip a tank or even crush a tank with his raw speed. If he was to just ram at you at that speed. If somebody was to start off right here at this point, build up velocity with his running speed at his mass and weight, was to start running this way, build up velocity, 700 miles per hour. By the time he hits the impact of the thing, he would hit with this over 100 tons of force type of power. That's what I'm talking about with Dash. He would essentially be like a walking missile and just drill through your entire house. And I'm still technically only assuming his best is 700 miles per hour. The fact he can outrun that exhaust velocity, I kind of already told you, it implies he can hit even faster or move even faster. The lower end being 7 times faster than the speed of sound. What would his hit feel like then? Based on a whole bunch of boring math you probably don't care about, the force he would hit would be over 800 tons of force going 7 times the speed of sound. That's essentially saying Dash hitting you with this level of speed would feel like 14 of these tanks falling on your face all at the same time. The weight of all these tanks multiplied by 14 and landing on your face. And then if we assume the higher end being 13 times the speed of sound, doing a whole bunch of math you probably don't care about, it's an estimation if he was to actually ram into you at 13 times the speed of sound, which is a higher end, he would be able to produce 1,500 tons of force. We're talking about Dash getting punching power close to the level of the weight of these Omnidroids we saw in the Incredibles movie. These things are pretty tall. We're talking about his punches with his raw speed being the weight of this or greater, or close to this weight. If Dash was to use his powers correctly, he would have enough force to actually collapse a skyscraper building if he actually ran at something at this speed and his durability doesn't give out. His durability might not be able to handle this speed ramming into something. No, yeah, that could be his only weakness, you could say. Speed truly does equal weight. Somebody can make an argument he might be able to be hit as hard as his own dad, but that's none of my business. But just in case you think I'm glazing him too hard or wanking him too hard, if you really want to assume he can't really go 13 times faster than the speed of sound based on that exhaust velocity type of thing right there, if you're not convinced of that, his punching power at 700 miles per hour is still insane though. He would still technically be able to hit with over hundreds of tons of force, like a whole tank or a couple tanks falling on your face still. So it would still be a lot, even if we lowballed him all the way down to speed of sound level at best. A lot more than the movies really portrayed though. You can tell that the super suits the Incredibles wear are really durable, being fireproof, bulletproof, can withstand a lot of friction because of his speed. I mean, imagine a teenage Dash. He's always trolling all the time. Imagine a Dash that's like 190 pounds and crap. But we're not trying to have this discussion about him being faster than lightning too, though. He might have just been aim dodging, but what do you think? You could say teleporters could be his weakness when it comes to raw speed. Like his brother, maybe his full potential will be realized. Maybe he can't punch at maximum speed because he would bust his arm off trying to punch at that speed, but he technically couldn't move that fast though. But before I get going, y'all, like, share, subscribe, respect Dash. Thanks for the donations, y'all. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.